Hi guys, and welcome to Premier Prediction Week 16. It's that time of the year again where we start having midweek football, getting up to the Christmas period now. So let's waste no time and let's get straight into it. There's only two games on tonight, and we start with Bournemouth versus Leicester. Obviously a fantastic win for Leicester. Obviously beating Manchester City 4-2. It was like the old Leicester last season. They were chasing down. They didn't give Manchester City a moment's peace. I think it was Alan Shearer, or it might have been Ian Wright, sorry, on Match of the Day, said they were playing like how champions should defend their title. So hopefully that might give them a boost, and they can start cracking on with their season now. Bournemouth, on the other hand, had a very poor result against Burnley, also. But it's a different kind of game, Great win for Burnley, by the way, but I do think that Bournemouth being at home, they'll be a different kind of animal. And obviously Leicester were always going to raise the game against Manchester City anyway. As I say, it's going to be like a different kind of game in this one. And I think it's going to be a tight draw. I'm going to go Bournemouth 1, Leicester 1. We then have Everton versus Arsenal. And as I say, Arsenal's been on decent form, the last couple of weeks, smacking West Ham 5-1. And then obviously beating Basel 4-1. We did get Bayern Munich in the Champions League, no surprise there. We did beat Stoke on on Saturday, but it wasn't really a convincing performance if you want my honest opinion. Don't think Stoke did too much themselves, but I just thought Arsenal were a little bit tired. Maybe two great wins against West Ham and a win against Basel. They just looked a little bit tired, like those two last performances took it out of them a little bit. But fair play to them, they did stick it out and they did win in the end. Everton is going to be a very, very hard place to go to. I don't think we've got a very good record at Everton, to be honest. But in current form at the moment, I am going to go for Arsenal. As I said, I've said in previous videos before, if Arsenal want to win the title, and send a message out to the likes of Chelsea, Manchester City. These are the games you have to win, and obviously on Sunday as well against Manchester City. We can't just keep saying, oh no, that's going to be hard, that's going to be hard, that's going to be hard. Yeah, teams are going to be hard, but if you want to win the title, you're going to have to see past that hardness and just grind it out and get a result. And I'm hoping that's what Arsenal do tonight. Yes, tough place to go to, Everton, but I do think Arsenal will win. Very narrowly, by the way, but I'm going to go Everton 0, Arsenal 1. But as I say, make no mistake about it, that's going to be a very, very tough test. And someone did also say on Arsenal Fan TV, if Arsenal can go to Goodison Park tonight and pick up 3 points, and if we can go to Manchester, the Etihad on Sunday and get 3 points there, then Arsenal really have turned a corner, and they really are starting to show that they're the real deal. But we haven't done it yet. So let's not get carried away. But I do agree with that gentleman's comments. If we do go on to beat Everton at Goodison Park and Manchester City at Etihad, then yeah, definitely Arsene Wenger definitely needs some credit, and he's definitely changed the attitude of the players. So we'll see how that one pans out. Right, on to tomorrow's fixtures. I don't know why there's only 2 games on tonight actually, but the rest of them seem to be on Wednesday. But there you go. We have Middlesbrough versus Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool would be a bit disappointed. They drew to West Ham 2-2 on Sunday. I think it was Sunday. Very disappointed. As I did say, West Ham won't be a walk in the park. Yes, I know that Arsenal did smack them 5-1, but I just think that's a one-off, to be honest. They have had a poor season, but, if you do watch the way West Ham play, they do get in your faces. They do make things hard. And I just always thought that Liverpool might have struggled a little bit against West Ham, but I did think they were going to beat West Ham. I think if you check my previous video, I think I did put Liverpool down to win 2-0. So I did expect Liverpool to beat West Ham, to be honest, but I didn't. But if you also recall in the video, I did say that West Ham wouldn't make it easy for them, but and they didn't. They got 2-2. So and Middlesbrough again. Middlesbrough, I think it's called the River Stadium or the River Side. They won't make it easy either. Especially being at Middlesbrough. But again, you would expect Liverpool to go there and have the better quality and to see a result out. I have said that for the last couple of weeks, and they have struggled a little bit, with Bournemouth and then West Ham. So I don't want it making, it looks like I'm starting to jinx Liverpool a little bit. But I am going to go Middlesbrough 1, Liverpool 2. But again, at the moment, I have really no idea what Liverpool side's going to turn up at the moment. So, it kind of goes back to the comments that I said a couple of months back. That Arsenal, that Liverpool are very similar to Arsenal. You don't know what Liverpool's going to turn up, and yes, they're in great form, and then they'll lose and have stupid bad games like the Bournemouth one and like West Ham last week. So, I remember a gentleman commenting saying, "You always seem to go past, Liverpool." And there was a time when I did say, he shut me up a little bit, and Liverpool started to shut me up a little bit. But now I'm starting to prove my point a little bit. How they do go missing in games and how they do let Leeds and that fade away from them. Very similar to how we've seen Arsenal in the past. So I'm starting to prove my point a little bit, but I do think Liverpool will win tomorrow. We have West Ham versus Burnley. Obviously, that'll be a massive boost, for West Ham going to Anfield and getting a point there. That will be a massive boost after getting smacked 5-1 to Arsenal at home as well. So I am going to take that into consideration, that they've probably gained a little bit of confidence, in that point. And again, Burnley won't make it easy for them, but I'm going to go West Ham 2, Burnley 1. We then have Sunderland versus Chelsea. And again, this might be a game where you'd think that Chelsea might struggle to Sunderland. Sunderland will make it hard, they'll park the bus. But the way Chelsea are playing at the moment, I can't really see much of a problem. I'm going to go Sunderland 1, Chelsea 3. Fantastic goal again from Diego Costa, by the way, on Sunday against West Bromwich Albion. Yes, you might not like the guy, you might like the guy, you might worship the guy, you might despise the guy, but you can't take away talent. And on his day, he is talented. And it's just a shame that he doesn't show it too many times, and he shows his bad side. When he gets pissed off and he starts, getting into trouble with all these players and that. And you just think if you got that out of his game and that, he'd be some player. And everyone would be talking about him for the good things. Which is what we want in the game. So hopefully, Chelsea and Conte can talk to him about those kind of things, and we'll see if we can get the best out of him. So 3-1 was that result. We then have Manchester City versus Watford. Yes, I know it was a bad result for Manchester City, on Saturday, but I do think that Manchester City will win quite comfortably against Watford on Wednesday, and it's at home as well. I'm going to go Manchester City 2, Watford 0. We then have West Bromwich Albion versus Swansea, and I'm going for a lively game in this one. Two teams around the bottomish. I think West Brom are higher up the table at the moment, so I wouldn't really class them as a relegation kind of side. But I'm going for a lively game in this one. I'm going West Brom 2, Swansea 2. We then have Stoke versus Southampton. Again, could be quite an interesting game. Southampton started to dip form a little bit, and Stoke started to gain form a little bit. Yes, I know, again, they lost on Saturday to Arsenal. But there were signs in that game when Stoke could have had a couple of chances. And as I say, hopefully they can start getting some results together. But I do think Southampton will nick it. I'm going to go Stoke 1, Southampton 2. And I've called that on a very close call. I wasn't very comfortable writing that, but I do think that Southampton have got a slightly better quality, which is why I went in their favour a little bit. Then we have Crystal Palace versus Manchester United. Everyone's going on about how well Manchester United played, on Sunday. I don't think they played that great, to be honest, and I think there's only one reason why they won on Sunday is because Tottenham Hotspur just didn't show up. To be honest, they just wasn't at it. They didn't really have many shots on target. I can't remember many, and and I think Crystal Palace will be a different kind of game. They'll make it hard for Manchester United. They'll get in their faces, and Tony Pulis, Alan Pardew, he'll get Crystal Palace up for this kind of game, and he'll make sure that he can wind the likes of Rooney up and Fellaini as well. So I think it's going to be a different kind of atmosphere, different kind of game, and I'm going to go Crystal Palace 1, Manchester United 1. Good result for Crystal Palace, I think. A bad point for Manchester United, but we'll see how it pans out. And then to finish off the midweek action, we have Tottenham versus Hull. I've spoke about Tottenham a minute ago saying they didn't show up. They let their fans down on Sunday. However, against Hull at home, I think they'll want to try and make it up to the fans, and I think they'll win quite comfortably. I'm going to go Spurs 2, Hull 0. So that's been my predictions for this midweek action, guys. Hope everyone gets all the results they want, and I'll see you on Friday for the weekend's predictions. Thank you for watching, guys.